everybody, welcome back to the GMAT Club Weekly News Roundup. Now this week we've got a new podcast episode, some serious mock analysis wisdom, and a full 685 debrief. The retake conversation on everyone keeps asking about, and a starter kit for anyone brand new to this whole process. So let's get right into it. First up, we just dropped a new episode of the GMAT Club podcast. Now this one is a conversation with a Harvard MBA grad. The question on the table is, a top MBA actually worth the cost? We talk about the real price tag once you factor in hidden expenses nobody warns you about, how scholarships can change the math, what the job search actually look like in a tough market, and why the value of the degree goes beyond your first paycheck out of school. If the ROI conversation feels more nuanced than a spreadsheet to you, this episode is worth your time. Link is in the description below. Next, a strong breakdown from a 775 score on how they actually read their mock results. The big idea here is that your total score is the least useful number on the screen. What matters more is whether a miss is a real concept gap or just a speed problem under pressure. They talk about building a personal error log and catching repeat mistakes before diving into deeper analysis, and training specifically for the sections that wear you down, like back-to-back reading comp or multi-source reasoning. There's also a good point about energy management. A tired brain makes mistakes a fresh brain never would. Worth a full read if mocks have started feeling like noise instead of signal. This next one is a debrief from a student who scored a 685, V85, Q83, DI84 while working full-time using eGMAT. Now keep in mind, this is one person's account of their own prep. Treat it as a story and not just a new formula. A few things that stood out to us was that they used diagnostic quizzes to skip material that they had already mastered, which freed up time for the sections actually holding them back. Their verbal jump came from finally nailing pre-thinking on critical reasoning and slowing down on reading comp to track structure instead of skimming. On quant, instead of re-grinding entire topics, they used their analytics to isolate specific weak spots like sequences and functions and drilled those until they held. 3 days before the actual exam, they got a rough mock score. Instead of panicking, they reviewed their error log, realized it was process breakdowns and not ability, and walked in with a simple checklist instead of chasing a number. Full debrief is linked below. Now, this is one of the most common questions in our forums, so let's talk about it. According to GMAT retake research, the average retake gains around 30 points. Now, that's likely because test day familiarity and better pacing kick in the second time around. So when does a retake actually makes sense? If your score sits more than 50 points below your target school's median, if there's a big gap between your practice scores and your actual score, and if you genuinely haven't studied with real official materials yet, or if your section balance is just off. A retake is probably worth it. On the flip side, if your score is already close to or above your target median, if your academic record is strong enough to carry weight on its own, or if you've already worked through most of the available prep material, it might be smarter to put that energy into your essays and your story instead. One note here is that some numbers floating around forums about conversion rates and applicant pools come from informal surveys rather than verified data. Treat those specific stats with some caution and focus on the general decision framework instead. Last one, a good thread for anyone just getting started. If you're new to this, the advice from the community is pretty consistent. Start with the official guide, take a cold diagnostic mock before you commit to a study plan, use that to figure out which section actually needs the most attention, and from there, GMAT clubs, quant, and verbal question banks sorted by difficulty are a solid next step. The pinned definitive GMAT study plan thread is also worth bookmarking if you want a full roadmap. And if you're already in a coaching program, most of the community agrees you probably don't need to go shopping for extra resources. Your coaching material should already have you covered. And that's it for this week's roundup. Links to everything that we covered are down in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to drop a comment and let us know what you want us to dig into next. See you guys next week. Bye!